Blessed day, everyone, and welcome to Itswhenlightningstrikes. If this is your first time joining, my name is Grace, and I will be your host. Welcome to this circle. Today is going to be part 3, the last video for Teaching 4 of the Grandfathers, which is Bravery as Taught by Bear. If you haven't watched part 1, which covers what bravery or being courageous looks like, I would suggest you go watch that because this is important medicine. And part 2 is the beginning of covering what going within means as taught by Bear. And today is going to be taking that process and really applying it to the human race in sort of a nuts and bolts way. So in video 2, we went over hibernation, which is the medicine that teaches us about going within. And basically, Bear is digging a hole or a den within our Mother Earth, crawling in there where he's alone with himself, by himself for many, many months, reflecting upon the prior year's experiences. And for us, going within obviously looks a little bit different because we're not hibernators, but could be likened to meditation, although it's a little more proactive and intentional than that. So this is the place where we do many, many things within, going within. Going within means we're looking to ourself. It means we're not looking outside of ourself to any number of people, places, or things for whatever it is we're searching for. And we'll go over the hazards of looking outside of yourself later on. So when we go within and we're looking to ourself, we're looking to ourselves for any number of reasons. So reason 1 might be we're trying to figure out who we are, as we talked about in Raven and Honesty, who we really are outside of any outside influences, any people outside of ourselves, any situations outside of ourselves, any expectations outside of ourselves. So we're intentionally trying to figure out who we really are. This is one thing that happens when we go within with purpose. The other thing you're going to be doing going within is your healing work. So there's a lot of healing work we all have to do. I've been doing healing work for literally years, and there doesn't seem to be any end to it. So, but that's okay. You get through the bulk of it, and then there's just stuff that comes up. So our healing work is not only important to us, but it's important for the collective. So this is another thing we're going to be doing when we go within. And part of what happens with hibernation is, not only are you alone with yourself, but you're in stillness and silence. And these are 2 very critical pieces to learn in the process of going within, and whatever your intention is with that at any given moment. And we don't live in a quiet world, and so silence, you're going to somehow have to create this for yourself. And being still, where everybody's running around like, a bunch of maniacs 24/7. And so this is not really normal behaviors anymore for most people. And I can tell you, when I intentionally started doing this for myself, learning how to be still in silence and being comfortable in both of these things, boy, was it uncomfortable. I started with like 5 minutes that I'm going to be in silence, I'm going to be still, and I'm going to be reflecting upon whatever I chose. And The 5 minutes literally was like, 5 hours or 5 days. It was incredibly long, and it was incredibly uncomfortable. But I can promise you, if you dedicate yourself to this journey, being still and being in silence becomes, just a sacred practice and a sacred space. And it's one of my most favorite places to be. So the nuts and bolts of this is that you need to learn to be still. You need to learn to be in silence. And you need to learn, most importantly, how to be alone with yourself and enough for yourself, all by yourself. This is critical. So beyond all of these things, let's talk about the hazards of going outside of yourself. So instead of turning to yourself for whatever you need, people currently, a lot of them, a majority of them, and if you pay attention, you're going to see this, are looking outside of themselves for whatever they're needing. So they're looking to other people, perhaps to make them feel complete or to make them feel happy, any number of things. Or they're looking to any number of things, like, if I have a new house, I'll be happy. If I have a new car, I'll be happy. If I get married, I'll be happy. If I have $2 million, I'll be happy. And none of these things ever work on a permanent basis. If you've tried this, you've noticed, because you're putting a Band-Aid on something that it's just not ever going to work. So our happiness, our completeness, our anythingness are things we need to be giving to ourselves, which is why we need to be going inward and asking ourselves these questions. Why am I not happy? Why am I dissatisfied with my life? Why do I not feel fulfilled? So this is going within, and this is the place where we need to go. Putting these responsibilities of your happiness, your completeness, whatever it is that you're searching for, onto others, not only is it not going to work, but it's not fair to them. It is our responsibility to give these things to ourselves. Okay, so we have to go within for this. The other hazard of looking outside of yourself, if you've ever listened to people around you, and please start doing that with this intention, is, people are always seeking some sort of validation from others. Do you think I'm pretty? Do you think I'm fat? Do you think I'm in good shape? Do you think I'm strong? Do you think I deserve this? It's an endless list of things that people are asking other people. And, if you're asking people that unconditionally love you and have your best interests at heart, that's one thing. But that's not what's happening here. I mean, people are just asking people they work with, any number of people, these kinds of questions. And the problem with this is you're opening yourself up to being judged by others. And this may not turn out well for you, because not everybody loves you unconditionally, and not everybody has your best interests at heart. And so you may be getting some answers that actually make you feel worse about yourself than perhaps you already do. So going within and asking yourself these same questions is where you really need to be going. Now, if you've done the initial work, you've picked something to work on, and you've really, reflected upon it and dug deep, and you've told yourself the truth, you've been completely honest, and you want to run all of this by someone that does love you, that you trust implicitly, to not necessarily get their opinion, but kind of share what you've done, and maybe see what they think about that, or if they have anything else to offer up that you might want to consider. And so this is a whole different ball game, and there's nothing wrong with doing that, again, as long as you trust this person and you know that they have your best interests at heart. So I think it's good to be aware and look at the fact that this world, as it is currently, has been created in such a way that it really has everybody running like crazy people 24/7. And I can't help but wonder, and maybe you'll wonder as well, if this isn't intentional, in that you don't have time to figure out who you really are if you're running like a crazy person 24 hours a day. So that's something to bear in mind, and think about, in your own time. I hope that you take this journey. I really, really, really hope that you take this journey within. You're not going to regret it. I promise you that. And, feel free to email me if I can be of any help. My email is itswhenlightningstrikes@gmail.com. I'm not going to necessarily give you the answers, but I certainly can maybe provide some guidance to kind of help you along on your journey. Until we come together again in this circle, I thank you for joining me today on the channel where lightning is bound to strike. Be well.